This is a second battle report. I held off in order to get some painting done and other things. In the meantime, Frontline Gaming published their proposals for missions for the Bay Area Open. I rolled up number 4, so it's the Scouring. We have objectives. There's one back here. It's number 1 for the blue side. Number 2 for the blue side, which is the Tau, is here. And number 3 is here. Number 1 for the Eldar is here. Number 2 is in the corner of that building, right there. Walls and barricades. And number 3, number 3 is right down here in this piece of terrain. Eldar rolled up the Warlord trait that allows the Warlord and 3 units to infiltrate. I interpreted that to mean that the Warlord, the unit he joined, and the transport they're in. I could be wrong about that. But I also infiltrated the Spiders and the Wraith Knight, because that's funny. Then sitting back here, the 2 units of jet bikes, and the other Wave Serpent, and the Hornets, which are out of line of sight from the quad gun over there. The Tau have some Kroot. They've got 2 units of Fire Warriors. They're in a first line, second line deployment instead of a left-right. Riptide is new. And then there's a drone commander with 6 Marker Light drones. In reserves for the Tau player are 3 crisis suits with twin-link missile pods and burst cannons, and a lone crisis suit with fusion guns and a burst cannon. And also the stealth suits are held in reserve. All 3 of those are deep striking later in the game. For my first turn, I rolled up that I need to hold either one of the objective 2s. The objective 2 markers should be no problem at all. And I also have to destroy a unit. The Tau player rolled up the objectives that require that he destroy 2 units. So, that's it. But that's the end of Eldar turn 1. These guys right here, Spiders, had a 14-inch jump, jumped up over here, shot the frontline unit of Tau, and then they got a 5-inch run, and then they got a 9-inch jump back, so they ended up exactly where they were at the beginning of the turn. Combination of shooting from this Wave Serpent that dropped its shields, these guys here, the Wave Serpent back here, and the Hornets combined both to get rid of the quad gun and to whittle down the unit to just 2 guys way over there. Otherwise, that's it. I'm currently holding Objective 2, and I'm holding Objective 2 underneath these guys as well, so I think I should be able to hold one of them at the end of the turn. We're at the end of game turn 1, so end of Tau turn 1, game turn 1. Marker lights from the Marker Light drones here. The rest of them are being built and painted right now, so they're not on their bases. Put 5 Marker Lights on the Wave Serpent there, and the Earthcast Riptide slipped out to the side, used the Marker Lights to boost his ballistic skill, and penned it 3 times with no chance to jink. And the shield was down because I went all out on trying to clean out that unit there. So they wrecked, and the Spirit Seer and the Wraith Guard are on the board now. In other news, Cadre Fireblades or something, in rapid fire range. These guys got a ton of shots. Not all of them were in rapid fire range, but I got a ton of shots on him and actually did 2 wounds to him. They did 5 wounds, and I made my saves, so that was lucky. Kroot spread out a little bit on the terrain. Jetpack move spread these guys back out, and Jetpack move also took him back behind there. So the score at the end of game turn 1 is 2-1 in favor of the Eldar, because I destroyed a unit and I'm holding Objective 2. And he got the goal to destroy 2 units, and he only could manage to do 1. So, that's it. Alright, that was an interesting turn where not much happened. Shuffled the bikes around in the backfield. I'm currently holding Objective 3 on the far side of the blue one. This Wave Serpent moved up, just fired scatter lasers into the drone commander. Combined shooting from him and the Hornets took out 4 of the drones, but he passed his morale check. Over here, my incredibly awesome Wraith Knight decided only to fire the scatter laser, killed one guy who was right in front of him, and then failed charge. I rolled a 5, so 5 minus 2, 3, so didn't make it. So I got to stand there like a jerk. Post-game note, I forgot that monstrous creatures have moved through cover and are not slowed by difficult terrain. So I would have made this charge, and I would have made the one later in the game as well. So I am bad at this. And all of this shooting from these guys here managed to put 2 wounds on them, but I made my saves. Over here, the warp spiders, for the first time ever, I rolled snake eyes. So they didn't go anywhere, and I lost a guy. Spirit Seers spread out, and they didn't cast anything. So, at the end of the turn, I will only be eligible to earn 1 point because I did not manage to destroy a unit. That's the end of game turn 2. Almost everything dropped in, everything came in. He had the strategic warlord trait that allowed him to reroll his reserves, and using it he dropped in all of his suits. Pretty much everything landed on target. These guys dropped in and did enough wounds, and I failed a Lookout Sir to a missile. So my Spirit Seer got doubled out, so he's dead. Over here, some lucky jinking. I only took fire from this Crisis suit and his drones, and then the 2 fusion gun stealth suits with target lock also tried to get him, but that red guy right there, he's still alive. And luckily this guy is also still alive and made his morale check, so I'm holding objective 3 at the end of the turn. Didn't fire at my Hornets, didn't shoot at my other Wave Serpent, did try to shoot and then assault my Wraith Knight. His thinking was that if he can hold him up, that I wouldn't get a turn of shooting, and sure enough, he made his morale check despite losing 2 guys. They were blinded during the shooting phase because I had taken invulnerable, because the Nova charge on the Riptide there did actually ended up only doing 1 wound, which was really pathetic, but I guess that's the way it goes. So, at the end of game turn 2, the score is 3-2 in the Eldar favor. Turn 3, combined shooting, managed to pin this lone Crisis suit here, but not finish him off. Failed charges with both the Wraith Guard and that jet bike over there. The lone gun guy with the fusion guns was easily taken out by the Hornets. And over here, I managed to get rid of 2 of the stealth suits. I did not try to charge them, and I tried to put the jet bike in between them and the Wraith Guard in case they need a cover save. Over here, I finally crushed the Kroot that were holding me up, consolidated toward objective 3. It's pretty much what he wanted, though, because he's going to probably Nova charge again and try and take him out. My goals were to destroy a unit and to hold objective 2, and my warp spiders over there are holding objective 2, and I killed that 1 unit there. So I scored both of my points for the secondary objectives for this turn. Alright, that's the end of Tau turn 3. He got hold objective 3 and destroy a unit. He just barely managed in assault, actually, to destroy a jet bike. The stealth suits couldn't pull it off with just shooting. They did split fire with target lock, take a hull point, and knock a weapon off of one of the Hornets. I declined to jink, because I need their firepower. Then down here, these brave souls ran up onto the wreckage here to hold number 3 in case the stealth suits couldn't get there. Combined shooting from everything over here has knocked the Wraith Knight down to 2 wounds. These guys rolled horribly to wound. They got 13 hits, and I think they rolled 1-6 out of it altogether. And similarly for the Riptide, which is hitting really well, but not coming up with 6s. So that's it. I think I scored both of mine. He scored both of his, so the score is relatively same. Eldar leading by 1 point. That's the end of Eldar turn 4. Some good and some bad. Wraith Guard up to the top there easily took care of the Crisis suit. Warp Spiders got an 11-inch jump and a 5-inch run, and were able to take out some Fire Warriors here and one of the Cadre Fireblades. The Hornets moved up and fired on the drone commander and took out one of his drones. there. He's got a 4+ cover save. Speaking of 4+ cover saves, combined shooting from the jet bike and the Wraith Guard here only managed to kill one stealth suit. And then in the ensuing assault phase, I failed the charge distance with the Wraith Guard and made it with the jet bike, but he didn't do anything. So that's just all tied up there. I did manage to break this Fire Warrior down at the bottom here. He is the last of his unit, so he'll need Snake Eyes to regroup. And speaking of Snake Eyes, I am 1 inch away from that model there, but because the corner of my base is in terrain, my charge distance is -2. I rolled Snake Eyes to charge, so I didn't go anywhere. And I ate a wound in the process because his marker light hit, and then they used it to increase their ballistic skill. Good times. I am in position, though, to collect my objective points. I'm sitting on objective 2, and I did destroy a unit. Alright, that's the end of Tau turn 4, game turn 4. Drawn combat here, which held him off of objective 3, so he didn't get to score that one. Over here, though, he brought his Fire Warriors back into coherency, put 1 marker light on my Wraith Knight, and then proceeded to make me roll enough dice to fail and lose Wraith Knight. The Riptide unloaded on the Wave Serpent, and I jinked and made all of my 3-up jinks. So I continue to not be able to make 3-up armor saves, but to be able to make 3-up jinks. That is my life. Let's see. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. I believe I'm pulling ahead now at the end of this turn because I've scored both of my objectives. Objective 2 is here, and I killed a unit. So I think it's 7-5 now. It's 7-5. It's the end of Eldar turn 5. Good solid jump from the Warp Spiders. Put them on the other side of the defense line. They killed a number of Fire Warriors. What was left they held. Snapfiring from here killed 1 more Fire Warrior. Wasn't much. These guys combined to double out the commander. The Wraith Guard over there by the Wave Serpent failed to get back close enough to Objective 2 to hold it. If the game goes on, they should be able to do it no problem. Down here, the Wraith Guard charged in and killed all of the stealth suits, consolidated onto Objective 3. So as of right now, this is all that's left for Tau. 4 Fire Warriors in 1 unit, 1 who needs Snake Eyes to regroup, and the Lonely Riptide. Alright, we called the game turn 5 because we're still practicing, so there's not too much of a point going on to 6 and 7. The Eldar will take the primary. There's 2 points here, 3 points here, so that's 5, and the Tau are holding none. So we'll take the primary, take the secondary also. That's it. What it came down to for the Tau, unfortunately, is that they spent, despite the fact that the Wraith Knight didn't do anything, because I spent 2 turns trying to charge stuff without shooting, the Tau army had to spend too much time shooting at it to get it brought down, which meant they didn't have any spare firepower for the Hornets, which came back to bite them eventually. So that's it. Eldar victory. Despite the outcome of the game, both players really felt that the adaptation of the Maelstrom mission for the secondary really added an extra dimension to the game, made it pretty fun. It was a little frustrating because once you started falling behind, I'm not really sure if there's any way you could ever make up the points on the secondary. It seems really, really hard even if you're behind a point. We're going to go ahead and play one of the ones that require that have some clause where any part of a unit has to be in a certain zone in order to score a point, and see how that one goes. I wasn't too impressed when I read it, and so we'll play it and see what we think after that.